They keep telling you that Looksmaxing will fix your life. That if you get the right haircut, grow the perfect jawline, build the right body, then suddenly the world will treat you differently. And maybe on the surface, it's true. People will notice you more, maybe they'll look twice when you walk past. But here's the part they don't tell you. It's fake. It's fragile. And if that's all you build, it will fall apart the moment you meet someone better looking, the moment you have a bad day, the moment the illusion breaks. Looksmaxing sells you a dream that's easy to buy into because it's all on the outside. You don't have to face your mindset. You don't have to work on your discipline. You don't have to change who you are inside. You just spend time, money, and energy adjusting the surface. And it's addictive because you can see results quickly. But the truth is, the outside means nothing if the inside stays weak. You can walk into a room with the perfect face and still be invisible if you don't carry yourself with confidence, purpose, and presence. And here's the painful truth. You've seen this with your own eyes. You've met people who aren't the most attractive, yet they own every conversation. They walk in and suddenly the energy shifts. They speak and people listen. That's not jawline symmetry. That's power. That's the result of building something deeper than looks. And that's why Looksmaxing, as the internet sells it, is fake. It's 10% of the real game. The rest is you, your habits, your mindset, your discipline, your ability to walk into any situation and own it without needing perfect lighting or the perfect angle. The danger of relying on Looksmaxing is that it makes your identity fragile. If all your confidence comes from the way you look, then every time you see someone better, it chips away at you. You start comparing yourself endlessly, chasing the next fix to keep your self-esteem alive. And one day it won't be enough because there's always someone taller, leaner, more perfect by some standard. You're playing a game you can't win. Real confidence isn't about being the best-looking person in the room. It's about walking into that room knowing your value has nothing to do with comparisons. It's about having skills, experiences, and strength that no one can take away from you. And that only comes from the work you do when no one's watching. When you're training, learning, pushing yourself, not for the mirror, but for the life you're building. You want to actually change? Forget the obsession with your reflection. Focus on building a life so solid that even if you lost every perfect feature tomorrow, you'd still stand tall. Build a body that moves with power, a mind that can handle pressure, a presence that commands respect without you having to say a word. That's real maxing. That's the upgrade no one talks about because it's harder, but it's the only thing that lasts. If you want proof, disappear for 6 months. Not to tweak your looks, but to transform who you are. 6 months of discipline, learning, improving your environment, your health, your finances, your skills. Come back and you'll see the difference, not in how you look, but in how you live. And when you walk into a room then, you won't need to worry about angles or lighting, because the respect you'll get won't come from your jawline. It'll come from the person you've become. Here's what no one wants to admit. The obsession with Looksmaxing isn't really about becoming better looking. It's about running away from the parts of your life you don't want to face. It's easier to buy a skincare routine than to fix your lack of discipline. It's easier to spend hours on haircuts, jawline exercises, or gym selfies than to face the fact that you have no long-term plan for your life. Looksmaxing becomes a distraction, a comfortable place to hide, and the internet knows that. That's why it keeps feeding you this lie, because it sells. The problem? Distractions like this rob you of time, and time is the only thing you can't get back. Every hour you spend obsessing over the mirror is an hour you could have spent building something permanent. Skills, businesses, relationships, experiences. These things don't fade the moment someone younger or more symmetrical walks into the room. But here's the uncomfortable truth. They take longer. They require patience. And we live in a world that's allergic to patience. So you pick the fast hit instead of the long game. But when the years pass, and they will, you'll wish you'd chosen differently. Think about it. What's the point of looking like a Greek statue if your life is empty? What's the point of being admired for your face if the moment you speak, people lose interest? The people you look up to, the ones who seem untouchable, they didn't get there by chasing every external upgrade. They became powerful because they built depth. They became people others wanted to be around, not just look at. They had stories, charisma, ambition, and a clear vision of where they were going. That's why they stood out, not just because they had a perfect look. Here's what's even more dangerous. When you tie your identity to your appearance, you become a prisoner to it. You'll start to fear aging. You'll obsess over tiny imperfections. You'll be in a constant state of anxiety, checking your reflection, comparing yourself to strangers on the internet, always chasing the next improvement. That's not self-improvement. That's self-destruction disguised as progress. If you want real freedom, you need to build value that doesn't fade with time. That means stepping away from the mirror and stepping into the real world, doing the hard things that no one claps for. Waking up earlier, not for a selfie in good lighting, but to work on your craft. Reading books instead of scrolling through how to fix your face threads. Taking care of your health because you want energy and strength for life, not just a lean photo. These are the things that will still matter 10 years from now. I'm not telling you to neglect your appearance. There's nothing wrong with looking good. But the point is, that should be a bonus, not the foundation. Your foundation should be unshakable, even if you woke up tomorrow and everything about your looks changed. And the only way to build that is through real work. Work that most people will never do because it's not instantly rewarding. But if you can do it, you'll separate yourself from almost everyone around you. So here's the challenge. Instead of chasing every external upgrade you can find, take the next 90 days and focus on internal ones. Make yourself sharper, stronger, more disciplined. Build something you can point to and say, I made that. Then, when people notice you, it won't just be for how you look, it'll be for what you've become. And that kind of respect doesn't fade. You know what's crazy? In 10 years, nobody will remember what you looked like today. The people in your school, your job, even your friends, they'll move on. New faces will come, and yours will be just another one in the background. But you know what they will remember? How you made them feel, what you built, the things you stood for. Your actions will echo a lot longer than your jawline ever will. And here's the part you don't want to hear. If you keep wasting time on superficial upgrades, you're going to wake up one day and realize you never actually lived. You'll have the perfect hair, the perfect skin, but you'll be empty inside. No adventures, no risks taken, no real memories. Just a lifetime of comparing yourself to strangers online, chasing validation that never lasts more than a few seconds. That's not living. That's waiting to die in the most comfortable way possible. Look around you. Most people are doing exactly that. Playing it safe, avoiding discomfort, waiting for some magical future moment where everything will finally make sense. But it doesn't work like that. Life doesn't wait for you to be ready. You either move now or you get left behind. And once you get left behind, catching up becomes almost impossible. The truth is, you could disappear from social media for the next 6 months, grind in silence, and come back unrecognizable. Not because your face changed, but because you changed. Your mindset, your habits, your ability to handle challenges. That's the kind of transformation that shocks people. That's the kind of change they can't copy with a quick purchase or a new filter. But to do that, you have to make a choice right now. A choice to stop feeding the lie that looking better will solve everything. A choice to put your energy into things that matter. Building your health, your mind, your career, your relationships. Things that compound over time and give you real leverage in life. Because the truth is, when you have those, your looks become a bonus. And ironically, you'll look better simply because you're living with purpose. So here's my challenge to you. For the next 90 days, cut out the noise. Limit your time in front of the mirror. Stop chasing the next hack for your face. Instead, put every ounce of energy into becoming the kind of person you'd look up to if you met them. Read, train, learn, create. Take risks. Face fears you've been avoiding for years. You'll be shocked at how quickly your life will feel different. And if you think you can do it alone, you're wrong. You need people who are on the same path. People who aren't just talking about improving their lives, but actually doing it. That's why I built our private Discord community. It's full of people pushing each other, sharing progress, and refusing to settle. If you're serious about becoming that person, join us. But don't come if you're looking for another comfort zone. This is for people who are ready to work. Because here's the final truth. You only get one shot at this life. And every day you spend obsessed with the mirror instead of building something real is a day you'll never get back. Stop wasting it. Disappear, work in silence. Come back as someone they can't ignore.